Have you ever felt like you're putting in all the work day in and day out, but nothing seems to be happening? It's quiet, too quiet. You're planting seeds, watering them, giving them sunshine, but the ground remains stubbornly bare. There are no sprouts, no new leaves, no signs of life. It's in these moments of silence that doubt loves to creep in. You start to wonder, am I doing this right? Is anything even growing under the surface? Is all this effort for nothing? I know that feeling all too well. It's the quiet before the breakthrough, and honestly, it can be one of the most challenging parts of any journey. We live in a world that glorifies noise. We celebrate loud successes, viral moments, and overnight sensations. Social media feeds are filled with highlight reels, showing off the big wins and the dramatic transformations. So when our own progress feels silent and invisible, it's easy to feel like we're failing or falling behind. But I want to talk about why this quiet phase is not just normal, but absolutely essential. It's the secret ingredient to sustainable, meaningful growth. Think about it like a bamboo tree. For the first 4 or 5 years, you see almost nothing above the ground. You water it, you care for it, and it just looks like a tiny, insignificant shoot. You might even think it's a lost cause. But what you can't see is the massive, intricate root system it's building underground. It's creating a foundation. And then, once that foundation is strong enough, the bamboo shoots up, growing dozens of feet in just a matter of weeks. The visible growth was sudden, but the invisible work took years. That's exactly what happens in our lives. When you're learning a new skill, building a business, working on a creative project, or even improving your health, there's always a period of foundational work. This is the quiet part. It's the hours you spend practicing, the drafts you write that no one will ever read, the failed experiments in the kitchen, the early morning workouts when you feel no stronger. This isn't wasted time. It's you building your root system. You are developing discipline, resilience, and expertise. Every quiet hour you invest is another route spreading out, anchoring you and preparing you for the growth that's to come. But because it's not visible, because you're not getting external validation, it's incredibly tempting to give up. The voice in your head whispers, "See? Nothing's happening. This is pointless." Learning to trust the process during this quiet phase is a superpower. What's about having faith in the work you're putting in, even when you can't see the immediate results? It's about understanding that growth is not always linear or loud. Sometimes the most profound changes are happening in silence. Think about a caterpillar and a chrysalis. From the outside, it looks completely still, inactive. Nothing seems to be going on. But inside, one of the most miraculous transformations in nature is taking place. The caterpillar is literally dissolving and reforming itself into a butterfly. It's a messy, complex, and entirely internal process. If you were to force open the chrysalis to check on the progress, you would disrupt the entire process, and the butterfly would never be able to fly. Your quiet phase is your chrysalis. You need to protect it. You need to give yourself the space and time to undergo your own transformation without constantly demanding visible proof of progress. This is where patience and self-compassion come in. It's easy to be patient when you see things moving forward. It's much harder when everything is still. This is when you have to become your own biggest cheerleader. Remind yourself of the bamboo and the butterfly. Remind yourself that you are building a foundation. Silence doesn't mean absence of progress. It often means progress is happening at a deeper, more fundamental level. So, how do we navigate this? How do we keep going when the world is quiet and our motivation starts to wane? First, shift your focus from outcomes to process. Instead of obsessing over whether you've made it yet, celebrate the fact that you showed up today. Celebrate the small, consistent actions you're taking. Did you write 500 words? Awesome. Did you practice that new chord for 15 minutes? Fantastic. Did you make one healthy meal choice? That's a win. When you learn to find satisfaction in the work itself, you become less dependent on external results to keep you going. The process becomes the reward. This builds an incredible sense of inner strength and resilience that no amount of likes or shares can ever give you. Second, document your journey, even the boring parts. Keep a journal, take pictures, or record short videos for yourself. Might feel silly at first, documenting what feels like nothing. But when you look back in a few months or a year, you'll be amazed. You'll see the subtle shifts you didn't notice at the time. You'll have a tangible record of the work you put in during the quiet times. This record will become your proof. It will be the evidence you can turn to when doubt creeps in again, reminding you that your efforts have always, eventually, led to something. It's like watching a time lapse of a flower blooming. You don't see the movement in real time, but the final result is undeniable. Third, find a community or a mentor who understands the process. Surround yourself with people who get it. People who won't ask, "Are you successful yet?" but will instead ask, "How did your practice session go today?" These are the people who will remind you to trust the process when you forget. They can share their own stories of their quiet periods, which can be incredibly reassuring. Knowing you're not alone in the silence makes it a lot less intimidating. It transforms it from a lonely void into a shared, sacred space of creation and growth. And finally, learn to appreciate the silence itself. In our noisy world, quiet is a rare gift. Use this time not just to work, but to reflect. What are you learning about yourself? What parts of the process do you actually enjoy? The quiet is an opportunity to connect with your why. Why did you start this journey in the first place? Reconnecting with that deep, intrinsic motivation is the most powerful fuel you can have. When your why is strong, you can endure almost any how, including the long, quiet stretches of the journey. I remember when I first started this channel, for months I was creating videos, pouring my heart into them, and it felt like I was speaking into a void. The views were low, the comments were few and far between. It was incredibly quiet. I had moments where I thought, what is the point? No one is listening. It would have been so easy to stop. But I love the process of creating, of sharing ideas, so I focused on that. I celebrated every video I completed. I focused on getting a little bit better with each one. Better lighting, clearer audio, more refined scripting. I trusted that if I kept laying the bricks, eventually I would build a wall. And then, slowly, things started to shift. A video would get a few more views. A comment would pop up from someone saying, "My video helped them." It wasn't a sudden explosion. It was a gradual, quiet awakening. The success I have today was not built in the moments that went viral. It was built in the hundreds of quiet hours before that when no one was watching. It was built on a foundation of trusting the process. So if you are in that quiet phase right now, please hear me. You are not stuck. You are not failing. You are building your foundation. You are in your chrysalis. You are gathering strength. The work you're doing right now, the work that nobody sees, is the most important work you will ever do. Trust it. Lean into it. Protect your process. Be patient with yourself. One day you will look back at this quiet time not as a period of struggle, but as the moment your roots grew deep enough to support the incredible growth that was to come. Keep going. Silence is where the magic happens. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on growth and self-development. Let me know in the comments about a time you had to trust the process. I'll see you in the next one.